This is how to come up with a killer YouTube video idea to blow up your channel. Watch closely because the single most important factor for determining whether a video blows up is not the title, not the thumbnail, not even the video quality itself, but the base idea. Just listen to world-renowned YouTube consultant Patty Galloway.
I'd be blue in the face saying this until I think the day I die is like, the idea is more important than everything.
But how exactly do you come up with a good idea? What makes breakout video ideas different from all the rest? And what do these top YouTubers know that we don't? Over the last couple months, I've become obsessed with this topic. I've spoken to strategists and consultants. I've pored over interviews, listened to talks, and analyzed the best performing ideas from the top creators in the world. I've even ventured outside the world of YouTube, scouring through ideation theory from the worlds of film, creative writing, journalism, even game design. 186 pages of notes later, I found something. The best YouTube ideas, the ones that outperform all the rest, follow a 4-part formula, and it all starts with selecting a killer topic. You see, nearly every killer video idea on YouTube can be broken into 3 core elements: the topic or the subject of the video, the format or the type of video, and the angle or the spice that sets the video apart from all the rest. The angle is the part that truly blew my mind, so stick around until the end. I promise it's worth it. But for now, we'll start with part 1 of the formula to come up with a killer video idea to blow up your channel: killer topic. The topic answers the question, what is this video about? And selecting the wrong topic can doom your video before a single word is scripted. Okay, that's a bit dramatic. But 2 videos about 2 different topics, each with the exact same quality of execution, can yield completely different results. Which is why, before doing anything else, the most successful YouTubers in the world first verify that their topic has the potential to blow up in the first place.
A question we might ask is, could this video get 1 million views? If it can't, why are we making it?
In order for a topic to even be considered by the pros, they have to first find proof that it can hit their view goal. This proof can look different for different YouTubers, but it generally involves searching for the most popular videos made on your topic and noting how many of them got views above your view goal. This isn't to say that you should never make a video about a topic that doesn't have proof of prior success. After all, there's a first time for everything, and as YouTubers it's important to maintain a healthy quota for experimentation. But if your goal is to come up with a killer idea capable of blowing up an entire channel, it's much riskier to stake your success on an unproven topic. So to avoid pouring days, weeks, or even months into making a video that no one actually wants, it's worth taking the time to validate your topic first. But looking at popular videos alone isn't enough to do that. Because while high view counts do help corroborate your view goal, they overlook one glaring problem. Just because a topic worked for a few large creators doesn't necessarily mean that it'll work for you. Because big YouTubers have something going for them that most of us do not, and that something is called familiarity bias. This is the concept that our brains are naturally drawn to what we're familiar with. So when we recognize the face or style of a YouTuber we already like, know, and trust, we're more likely to click on it. As a result, view counts from large, well-established creators are often inflated, as their familiarity alone is powerful enough to generate interest, even if they execute on topics that might not work for the rest of us. But truly killer topics, the topics we're looking for, are strong enough to drive success, even if no one knows who you are. And luckily for us, there's one tried and true method for identifying them. Jay Alto, a YouTube consultant that's been hired by the likes of Mr. Beast and Ryan Trahan, alludes to it here.
When you can find a smaller channel that's maybe not in the meta or, stereotypically like a big YouTuber, when they have videos that explode, there's clearly something that works there. So there's something to tap into.
What Jay's referring to here is something that's known as an outlier, which is a video that has significantly overperformed a channel's average. If a creator consistently pulls in 10K views per video, but one video pulls in 100K views, that video is an outlier. In the presence of outliers, especially outliers from smaller creators, is one of the strongest signals in existence that a topic has a high view potential. Because those outliers provide tangible proof that a topic carried enough interest to blow up a video without relying on familiarity. So how can we find these outliers? Well, there's an easy way and there's a less easy way, and I'll show you both because you deserve options. The less easy way involves picking a video from your search results, finding the video on the creator's channel page, comparing the views of that video to the views of the surrounding videos, and repeating. If you choose to use this process, here are some tips. First, use the free 1 of 10 Chrome extension so you can easily see the view multiplier of each video without having to do any math. Second, try to avoid picking videos that are less than 2 weeks old, as they typically don't yet have enough data to be very useful. And third, if you can, try to prioritize videos that are from creators who don't have a checkmark next to their name. This means that they have less than 100,000 subscribers, and outliers from them will be far more significant than outliers from YouTubers with millions of subs. But even with these tips, this process does have its flaws. For one, it takes a while to go through video after video. And because YouTube unfortunately doesn't have a way to filter by subscriber count, it's hard to find those high signal outliers from smaller creators, which is why many of the top YouTubers and YouTube strategists prefer using a tool specifically designed to find outliers called 1 of 10. I have been using 1 of 10 for a while now, and I'm still kind of in shock that I get to announce that they are the very first sponsor of this channel. And guys, can I get real with you for a second? I've been working this channel for over a year now, and to now be at a point where I'm getting sponsored by tools that I actually use, it's just the coolest thing in the world. So thanks for being here, and for watching these ridiculously nerdy videos that I make. I truly have the best viewers I could ask for. But let's get back to talking about outliers. With 1 of 10, finding outliers for your topic is as easy as simply searching for it. You are immediately met with all of the outliers 1 of 10 can find, all in one place. But the real magic is in the filters. I like to set the filters to only give me videos with over a 3x view multiplier, over 100,000 views, and from creators with less than 500,000 subscribers. The result is a curated compilation of exclusively high signal outliers for your topic. It seriously feels like cheating. 1 of 10 is also useful for a lot of things beyond just topic validation, such as inspiration for titles and thumbnails, and even as a source of new high potential topics to consider making videos about. I was able to get you guys a discount code if you want to try it out, so I'll put a link to that, as well as to the free 1 of 10 Chrome extension in the video description below. Thank you so much to 1 of 10 for sponsoring this video. And look, you don't have to find dozens of outliers in order to verify that your topic has potential. But if you're struggling to find any relevant outliers, or if you can't find many videos above your view goal, it's worth considering a different topic if your goal is views. After you're 90% confident that you have a topic with the potential to blow up, you're ready to move on to part 2 of the formula to come up with a killer YouTube idea, killer format. If the topic is the what of your video, the format is the how, and the combination of the two is what makes up a base idea. Take the topic of cooking a burger, for instance. The same core topic, presented through different formats, can yield wildly different video ideas. From a simple tutorial on how to cook burgers, to a door-to-door interview asking Michelin star chefs how they prefer to cook the classic American staple. Each format is unique, and each format provides a different reason for a viewer to click. Tutorials teach us how to achieve a desired result. Whether it's a physical final product or a sought-after skill, we click on tutorials because we want to learn how to do something ourselves. Challenges draw their power from a natural urge to experience something we've never seen before. Whether it's a bucket list activity, an outlandish goal, or a competition, the reason we click is the same: to discover the outcome, to experience all of the struggle, successes, and surprises along the way. Breakdowns evoke questions we don't know the answers to. In doing so, they create a curiosity gap, which is a gap between what we currently know and what we want to know. To our brains, this feels like an itch that we really want to scratch. And the only way to scratch that itch is by clicking on the video and learning the answer. Commentaries provide personal opinions, reactions, or perspectives on a topic. While we typically click on commentaries because we value the specific perspective being provided, whether that's from a creator we already know or from someone with unique insight into a topic, we also sometimes just click for the drama. Never underestimate our thirst for drama. Vlogs offer us glimpses into others' lives, letting us experience their daily routines, adventures, and reflections. The emphasis on personality allows us to connect on a more personal level. And while we usually click on vlogs from creators we already know, we can also click for a perspective we deeply resonate with, or for the opportunity to vicariously experience a different life. And last but not least, interviews offer first-hand conversations with guests who have unique insights or stories. Whether the interview features a specific guest we already know, or an expert whose authority and credibility we trust, we ultimately click for the same reason: to hear in-depth, personal, or exclusive information that we can't get elsewhere. Speaking of information that you can't get elsewhere, if you're enjoying this video and want to be notified when a new video comes out, now would be a great time to, well, you know the rest. So as you decide on the format for your idea, consider why someone would want to click on your video in the first place. What type of value do you want to provide to your viewers? And while we typically select a format based on what best aligns with our skill set, it's also worth considering what already exists on YouTube. Because if hundreds of videos already cover the exact same topic through the exact same format, especially when many of them come from much larger creators, why would anyone click on yours? To break through the noise, your video needs to stand out. It needs to be remarkable. And as it turns out, there are exactly two ways to do that: by being significantly better or by being significantly different. The concept of being better is relatively straightforward. If an idea has already been done before, you can be better by significantly improving upon it, whether that be through a better title, a better thumbnail, or even a better video execution itself. That's the story behind this killer idea from Mr. Beast. The same idea had already been done a year prior, but while the original idea simulated a crash in a video game, Mr. Beast leveled up the execution by using a real train and a real giant pit, because of course he would. He's Mr. Beast. It's what he does. But while Mr. Beast makes the concept of being significantly better look like child's play, for the rest of us it's something that's much easier said than done. When a lot of great content already exists on YouTube, even best-in-class creators often struggle with being significantly better than their competition, which is why they instead focus their efforts on being significantly different. One of the most effective ways they do that is by combining formats. And one of the best examples of that is Ryan Trahan's iconic Penny series. If you haven't heard of Ryan Trahan's Penny series, this is Ryan Trahan. And in 2022, he traveled across America in 30 days using only the resources he had traded up from a penny. Prior to his 30-day Penny series, Ryan had undertaken other penny-related challenges and had seen significant success. So Ryan took a proven idea, trading up from a penny in a challenge format, and combined it with a daily vlog format. The result? A combined 311.2 million views, millions of dollars raised for Feeding America, and the status of America's fastest growing YouTuber at the time. When Ryan published his Penny series, daily vlogging was out of style and hyper-sensationalized challenges were growing stale. But by combining the best parts of each format, Ryan was able to create a challenge that viewers were able to deeply relate to, a daily vlog that kept viewers on their toes with surprises and suspense, and a video series that took YouTube by storm. And look, you don't need to cross America in order to leverage the power of combined formats. One of Life of Riza's highest viewed videos is a cross between a tutorial and a cinematic vlog. The show Hot Ones mixes the interview format with a challenge, Mark Rober fuses challenges with breakdowns and commentaries, Cleo Abram frequently combines breakdowns, vlogs, and interviews. The combinations are nearly endless. If you're struggling to decide on a format mix of your own, go back to the value you want to provide to your viewers. If you want to educate, consider mixing in elements of tutorials or breakdowns. If you want to connect with your viewers on a more personal level, consider incorporating characteristics of vlogs or commentaries. It may even be worth breaking down what formats your favorite YouTubers use, and how those formats contribute to why you enjoy their content. Whether you choose to mix multiple formats or set on just one, the combination of your format and your topic is what shapes your base idea. You have the foundation for a killer video idea to blow up your channel. But it's what you add to that foundation that takes an idea from just okay to truly killer. Which brings us to step 3 of the formula to come up with a killer YouTube idea: killer angle. Remember in the beginning of the video when I told you that the angle was the part that truly blew my mind? You're about to see why. Because angles are what top YouTubers use to make an idea more interesting. Let me show you what I mean. Here we have a base idea made from the topic of cooking a burger and the challenge format. It's plain and unfortunately a bit boring. But through the addition of angles, this base idea could be elevated to ideas like, I made the world's biggest burger, I cooked 100 years of burgers, amateur versus pro burger chef, can you taste the difference? And many more. And while there are countless angles that you could use to elevate a base idea, for the sake of this video not being 3 hours long, I'll share just 10. The first is the use of superlatives. You've probably seen descriptors like biggest, cheapest, most expensive, and more before, and for good reason. Superlatives give videos a natural uniqueness, tapping into our instinctive attraction to novelty and giving us a reason to click beyond our interest in the base idea itself. A different type of extreme can be found in stakes, which introduce an element of risk or reward, heightening our emotional investment. The potential for loss or gain creates suspense and compels us to see how things unfold. Money is a common stake that generates interest due to its universal importance. But whether it's being risked, made, or spent, money in any context tends to draw us in. Time can also be used as a stake through a time constraint, which adds suspense by centering on the difficulty of achieving something within a strict time limit. But time can also be used to emphasize a prolonged commitment, leveraging a concept called input bias, which is the concept that the more effort is put into something, whether it's time, money, or energy, the more we value it. Input bias is also why the comprehensive angle is so effective. By covering every variation of a topic, or by promising all of the information someone might need, you pique more curiosity and drive more interest. If you don't want to cover every variation of your topic, you can present as many or as few as you want through a defined list, which promises a clear and efficient delivery of value through an organized, familiar structure. Speaking of things that are familiar, we can't talk about angles without once again bringing up familiarity bias. Because our brains are wired to gravitate towards things that are familiar, we're more likely to click on videos featuring well-known figures, popular brands, current trends, or beloved franchises. The topic but twist angle also leverages familiarity, but by also introducing an unexpected element, this angle can benefit from both the familiarity of a well-known topic and the novelty, surprise, and freshness of the twist, leveraging the power of contrast. Contrast is also a defining feature of the comparison angle, which juxtaposes two or more items, ideas, or experiences. Comparisons tend to generate the most interest when featuring either something we're considering for ourselves or something new we've never experienced before. And finally, transformations feature both a beginning state and an end result, tapping into our fascination with radical change, promising a satisfying before and after, and provoking the desire to know the story and process behind getting from point A to point B. So as you piece together your final idea, consider what angle fits best for you. And while this list of angles is a great place to start, it is by no means comprehensive. There are countless angles you could use to elevate a base idea beyond what I mentioned here. And a great way to find more is by spending some time on one of 10, looking out outliers to see which angles are working best both within your specific niche and outside of it. You can even combine multiple angles into a single idea, giving viewers even more of a reason to click. Mr. Beast often combines the comparison and the money angle, Safia Nygaard has combined the comprehensive and familiarity angles, Jordan Welsh has found success mixing the time and transformation angles, and combinations are nearly endless. But before you get lost in the sauce of jamming as many angles as humanly possible into a single idea, consider the brand you want to build and the story you want to tell. Not every angle will fit with every creator and every audience and every idea, and that's okay. Just choose the one or two that enhances, rather than dilutes or distracts from, your chosen idea and your brand. So as you can probably tell by now, there are a lot of choices involved in the process of coming up with a killer idea. There is a decision of what topic to pursue in the first place. Then there's a choice of what format or formats to present that topic through, and finally the selection of an angle or two to apply to the whole thing. So as you're sifting through the seemingly endless combinations, how do you know which one to choose? How do you know that you have a killer idea that's good enough to blow up your channel? To evaluate the quality of their ideas, the best YouTubers in the world run them through a series of 6 checks. Which brings us to the fourth and final step in our formula to come up with a killer video idea to blow up your channel: killer criteria. It's time for the elimination trials. Prepare yourself, it's about to get ruthless. The first check is feasibility. Is this idea feasible? Is it possible for you to execute on this idea? Pretty straightforward, but sometimes we can get a little bit carried away only to realize that we don't actually have $100,000 to spend on burgers. The next check gauges new audience interest. If someone saw this video but had no idea who you are, would they still be interested? If not, the video is very unlikely to blow up. The third check gauges existing audience interest. Will this idea be interesting to at least 80% of your existing audience? We never want to get so focused on bringing in new viewers that we forget about our core community. Next up is view potential. Does this idea have the potential to hit your view goal? While this answer is typically informed by the topic validation stage, you don't have to find proof of prior success in order to say yes. Sometimes we take risks, and that's okay. But if even you don't believe in the ability of an idea to hit your view goal, it's unlikely to bring in the results that you want. The fifth check is brand alignment. Does this idea fit within the brand of your channel? If you're a newer YouTuber, you may not have your brand defined yet, and that's okay. But if you are at that point, make sure that you never chase virality so far that you abandon the mission and vision of your channel. And finally, the last check is packageability. Can you come up with a strong title and thumbnail for this idea? In order for someone to watch your video, they have to click on it in the first place. And the best YouTubers in the world value packaging so much that they'll scrap an entire idea if they can't come up with a clickable title and thumbnail first. If you answer no to one or more of those questions, either go back and make changes or scrap your idea completely. I told you the elimination trials were ruthless. But if your idea made it through the gauntlet unscathed, it can ascend to the promised land that is your idea shortlist. This is a list of your very best ideas, the cream of the crop, the ones with the highest potential to blow up. And while you can't go wrong choosing any of the ideas on your shortlist, if you're having trouble picking, rate each idea on a scale of 1 to 10 across 3 categories. How excited you personally feel about the idea, how much effort it would take you to execute on the idea, and how confident you are in the potential performance of the idea. This confidence is typically determined by how much proof of prior success exists. The more proof, the more confident you can be in an idea's potential performance. With your ratings in place, picking your next idea is as simple as taking stock of what's important to you at the moment. If you're craving a spark of inspiration, pick the idea you're most excited about. If you want to give yourself a bit of a break, pick the idea that requires the least effort. And if you're really in need of a banger, pick the idea you're most confident will succeed. And that's how you come up with a killer video idea to blow up your channel. I know we've covered a lot in this video, and for good reason. Ideas are both incredibly complex and incredibly important. And although I threw a lot at you today, if there was anything to remember when coming up with a killer video idea to blow up your channel, it's validate your base topic, choose the format mix that best enables the value you want to provide to your viewers, add angles to elevate interest, and run through your checks. To help you out, you can even save this guide to reference every time you come up with a new idea. I also made a Notion template that guides you through the complete ideation process so that you can more easily make a killer idea shortlist of your own. I'll put links to all of that, as well as a link to try 1 of 10 for 40% off, which I highly recommend taking advantage of, in the video description below. And here's the thing. Everything I shared with you today was shared to help you come up with a killer video idea to blow up your channel. But not all ideas need to have viral potential in order to be worth making. Sometimes we can get so caught up in frameworks and formulas that we lose sight of why we're making videos in the first place. Yes, we're here because we want money and views and success, but most of us are also here because we want freedom and fun and the opportunity for self-expression and creativity. The formula I shared with you today can be highly effective in making a banger video, but it's also worth leaving space for other kinds of videos. Videos that are meant purely to connect with your existing audience on a deeper level. And videos that you want to make just for the heck of it, because you have some crazy idea that you want to pursue, regardless of how many views it might pull in. And ultimately, everything I laid out for you today is a game of risk mitigation. A game of putting as much work as possible into the pre-production of a video so that it has the highest likelihood of blowing up. But some of the best performing ideas on YouTube came from risky ideas. Ideas no one had ever seen or done before. So if you're excited to make a video, it doesn't matter if the idea doesn't follow all the steps or fit all the criteria. Make it anyway. Not that you need my permission, but make it anyway. Create the video. Do it just for you. Maybe it won't result in millions of views, but who knows? Maybe it'll end up being the killer video idea that blows up your channel. There's only one way to find out. But whether you choose to follow the formula or decide to go rogue, coming up with a killer idea is only the first step in making a killer video to blow up your channel. After you have an idea, you have to package it. Because regardless of how killer your idea is, if you can't title and thumbnail it properly, no one will click on it in the first place. So to learn how to make a killer thumbnail to blow up your channel, click here. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you can, keep creating, and I'll see you in the next video. We did it!